Today's show is brought to you by the Dance Studio of Tupelo and Sprint Print.
This week on WTHS, we're looking at what CTE classes are doing to spread breast cancer awareness and checking in on a student here at the high school whose dedication and spirit has greatly impacted our school.
I've been losing my mind, driving blind in the words of this song.
Welcome back to this week's edition of WTHS News. I'm Meri Wolfe. Breast cancer is the second most common cancer among women in the United States. CTE classes such as collision repair and digital media are doing their part to support survivors for the month of October. Sarah Buzzell has more on this topic.
October is widely known as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. During this month, many strive to bring to people's attention the struggles and hardships of living with this disease. Tupelo High School CTE classes are using their own talents to spread awareness.
Once again, the mechanics are painting and repairing a car to honor those in battle. Collision repair teacher Mr. Bradley says he strives to spread awareness because of the many teens who are uninformed of the common disease.
I found out that a lot of teenagers, unless they have experienced it directly in their family, they're not really aware of it. So it's just important to bring awareness to everybody, especially the ones who have never experienced it, to let them know that it is out there and you can do something to support.
So far, the team has painted, sanded, and buffed the car. Now they're collecting names of survivors, fighters, and those who lost their battle to breast cancer.
If you're looking to help spread awareness, don't worry, you won't have to go out and buy a pink car. Instead, you could do like Miss Walker's digital media class and Miss Ritchie's early childhood education class and hang cancer out to dry.
We are going to design our own breast cancer awareness t-shirts. Each student will design their own in Photoshop, and then we'll print the t-shirt and we'll hang them up in iBuilding for the month of October. And we're also going to partner with the early childhood education class with Miss Ritchie students, and we're going to help them design their own t-shirts as well.
Second-year digital media student Damon Woods says he believes anyone can make a big impact no matter how small.
It's a very common thing for a lot of women, and when you spread awareness of something, it can only get better. When I see my design, I'm pretty proud. I like seeing things I make.
To learn more about what you can do to help or how to schedule your own checkups, visit breastcancer.org. I'm Sarah Buzzell, reporting for WTHS News.
Thanks, Sarah. Some of these classes have been spreading awareness for almost 5 years now. We all have a chance to show our support on October 30th at the Pink Out game. Speaking of football games, Paris has this week's sports edition.
Hey, I'm Paris Lehman, and welcome back to this week's edition of Sports Media. This week, our volleyball team had two tough matches against division opponent Lewisburg. The team defeated Lewisburg at home on Monday, beating them in 3 sets, with Mallory Peters having 29 assists, Maggie Griggs, who had 16 kills, and Kelsey Burt, who was a defensive presence at the net during the game. Then on Tuesday, the team traveled to Lewisburg, where they could not come out with a win. Our Ladeway volleyball team will finish up the 2020-2021 season tonight against Regents School of Oxford. Over a year ago, one of our very own on the football team suffered a major leg injury. I got to speak with Tre Hall earlier this month. As an athlete, you never think that you might not be able to play the sport you love one last time. But for Tre Hall, it's been a little different. On September 6, 2019, he suffered a broken leg that led to surgery and many complications. As Tre battled this gruesome injury, all his family and mom could do was pray for him and be strong.
I didn't think he was injured. I thought he might have had a cramp. But once I got down to that football field and seen my son and everything, all I could do was pray and everything, which I started crying and everything. But like I said, all I could do was pray.
After Tre came out of surgery and began his recovery, he soon faced many complications, which led to him being airlifted to UAB's hospital for 12 days. Over these 12 days, he's soon to improve and began his rehab.
I stayed positive about my friends. After surgery, they texted me, checking on me and saying that I was going to be all right. My mother by my side and family and friends.
Throughout Tre's recovery, Tupelo High School and the community came together as one and held prayer rallies to lift him up in the hard times during his recovery. Because this type of injury is a game changer when it comes to how Tre and his family live their daily lives.
With him going through all that, it just turned my world upside down.
With this being Tre's senior year, overcoming this injury is something that was a no-brainer to him, so he could be on the field in no time.
It's my senior year, so it means a lot to me because last year I didn't get to play a lot, so I wanted to play more and try to get offers to go to college.
Even though Coach Harden is the new head coach this year, he gives insight on Tre's growth as a player this year.
He's been in a terrible situation, having to go through that in life. He's overcome a lot. I didn't really get to know him last year since I wasn't here coaching, but I did keep up with his story. I was familiar with it. I know it was something tragic, life changing, and he's persistent that he wants to be on that field playing no matter, what shape he's in.
Even with it being more than a year later, Tre is more than ready to get back on the field for his senior season. As the season is in full swing right now, Tre hardly thinks of his injury anymore because of his love and passion for the game of football. The next football game is supposed to be against the South Haven Chargers, but they have to quarantine. So the next time you'll see Tre and his teammates will be against Lewisburg on October 16th. This past Friday, our football team picked up a huge win against Olive Branch, 21-7, which puts the team at 2-3 overall and 1-1 in division. With Olive Branch scoring on the very first possession of the game, that is all we saw from their offense as they could not handle the Wave's defensive pressure. Also, Fred Adams had 2 huge interceptions to give the Wave the ball. Also, with our defense bringing intensity, it did not allow Olive Branch to complete many passes or get many first downs the entire game. On the offensive side of the ball, the Golden Wave had 3 touchdowns. Jake threw 2 touchdown passes to Corbin Huggins and Alex Pounds in the first half, with the Wave scoring 1 more in the second half, with Kyson Brown running 1 in. This gives the Wave another division win, putting the Wave at 2-1 in division play and 3-3 overall. Check back in next week to hear Golden Wave sports updates.
Thanks, Paris. There are so many different stories and backgrounds here at Tupelo, so we're introducing a new segment that takes a look into the lives of our very own teachers and students called Behind the Mask. Alexis Leasy introduces us to senior cheerleader Samaryous Walker.
For your Tupelo Golden!
When you think of football games, what comes to mind? Is it the pom-poms or Friday night lights? For many, it's senior cheerleader Samaryous Walker. He's an inspiration to others and loves to support his school. He started showing his passion for cheerleading at a very young age.
I started cheer. Actually, first I started gymnastics first and second grade. And then as time moved by, I once got bored with gymnastics. And so I wanted to try something different. So I know my friend did cheer. I went to practice with her one night. And the coach, he was like, "Can you tumble?" And I was like, "Yes, I can tumble." And so I joined the team. And after that first practice, I quit gymnastics and I just fell in love with cheer.
He says, shaping his eyebrows and being with his team gets him pumped up for school events.
My favorite thing about THS is the cheerleading team, obviously. No, I'm just playing. I love the cheerleading team so much, y'all. Like, everyone on the team is so loving, so welcoming, so accepting. And that's what this school and that's what this world needs, more accepting people, more people who's like positive, stay positive, whatever, the simple fact that some of my best years, some of my best moments has been spent at this school. So I really love that school for that. It's important to me because, people like in the sports industry, like playing football, whether it be band, football, everything, everything is something that needs support.
His favorite cheer is for more. He even taught me how to do one of the Tupelo cheers.
One, we are the way to.
In the future, Samaryous plans to share his bright and loving energy in the dentistry field.
My career of choice will have to be, I love teeth so much, so I would have to be a dentist. I love teeth so much, y'all. I've been thinking about that for the longest time.
He also dreams to be a part of the Navarro cheer team in Texas.
I love Navarro cheer, and I feel like that college cheer is like the next level. And I say this because they're advanced, like their technique and all the competitiveness is so good. I love my school. I love my cheerleading team. I love my coaches. And go Wave.
I'm Alexis Leasy, WTHS News.
Thanks, Alexis. Stay tuned for more behind the mask segments coming soon. That's all we have for this week. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram and subscribe to our new YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching this week's edition of WTHS News, and have a great fall break.